So you've got this idea, everybody's excited, but the problem is, how do you implement that in your large scale organization? So that's the topic of what we're going to be talking about today. Hi, welcome to Safe in the Real World. I'm Ahmed Said, and today we're going to be talking about, did you guess? Well, I hope so. Absolutely, it's the Epic Owner role. Now, the Epic Owner sits at the portfolio tier. That's the top tier of the Agile release train, on the Scaled Agile Framework, and he or she is responsible for, firstly, identifying a want or a need, a large want or a need. And let's just have a look at that. That want or need could potentially span quite a long period of time, potentially weeks, months, even years. So it's pretty large. Look, it could be spanning multiple, what we call program increments as well. Now, the other thing about this want or this idea or this need is that it also spans multiple silos and multiple teams as well. So we need a way in which we can actually take this big want and find a way in which we can coordinate multiple teams to deliver on this want as well. And finally, it may also span multiple systems. So we're talking about a large problem over here, a large opportunity over here that can span, as I said, take a long period of time, span multiple teams, and also span multiple systems. So now let's just have a look and see how the Epic Owner helps to make this happen and helps to support driving this idea through the organization. So now the first thing that an Epic Owner does is he or she is going to help with defining the epic. So what do I mean by that? So what I mean is, the first thing is, what is it? What is that problem that we're trying to solve? Who is it for? Now, what's special about this? Okay, how does it distinguish us from our competition? How does it give us a unique place in the market? What is the acceptance criteria or the hypothesis that we might have for this epic? Now, for where you've got a fairly clear outcome that you wish to achieve, then you could just have a straightforward acceptance criteria. But there are cases like where there is a particularly innovative idea. You're not quite sure exactly what you're going to get. Now, for example, I don't know, if you say we're going to be creating the next augmented reality mobile phone handset or something, right? Okay, and we want the phone details and the SMSs and the messages to be beamed up into my glasses. I don't know, right? But it's something that's innovative. We don't exactly know how it's going to work. So you may start off with a hypothesis there. Okay, you may have what we call a minimum viable product definition over there to say, look, when we achieve this acceptance criteria, then we will release it into the market as well. We may also want to have defined a lean business case associated with that epic as well. Okay, so now the Epic Owner, as I said, is going to be responsible for working and understanding and helping to create and form the actual definition of the epic. Now, the next thing, once that's done, the Epic Owner is going to do is help with determining the go, no-go decision, right? So look, I mean, this is an idea. Is it any good? Is it worth investing in, right? Was it, well, you know, if it is, then it's going to go into the portfolio backlog. So that's at the top tier. You can see the portfolio backlog on the Scaled Agile Framework big picture. Or is it no good? Is it a bit rubbish idea? In that case, we're just going to bin it. Okay, so the next thing is they're going to be involved with driving this through, and they'll be involving the executives and also the lean portfolio management as part of working through whether that idea has any teeth or not. Okay, now finally, the place where the Epic Owner is going to get involved and help with is in the execution of that, right? So that they've got this great idea, they managed to drive it through, everybody thinks it's fantastic, right? Okay, so what's the next thing we have to do? Now, as we talked about, look, it's pretty big, right? It's a big thing. It's spanning multiple teams over here. So it's got multiple teams over here being impacted. It's a long period of time that it takes to get this done, and it's also impacting multiple systems over here. So now the thing is, what we need to do is the epic owner is going to need to take this large requirement and split that down with the support of various different functions in terms of the requirements, so they can get something valuable ideally done within a smaller time box. So can you think about who would be involved in that? Give you a moment to think about that. If you guessed the product managers and potentially the product owners as well being involved in that, so they would be involved in putting the requirements together on that once those requirements have been formed, so that they can split into stories and features for the agile release train. Then it's going to be implemented, and so that there could be liaison happening with the release train engineer and the Scrum Masters and maybe even the architects there. Okay, so they will be involved in that side of things. Right, now once we've got that an element or portion of that developed, we may launch that. If you remember, I mentioned a minimum viable product. We may wish to launch that. We may involve multiple different teams in the launch as well. So it could be anybody from the DevOps team to actually deploy the solution, to the sales and the marketing, to the business operations. Could be a whole host of people being involved over here. So now once we've launched that product into the market, or even that system into the market, and then we need to evaluate that. Okay, does this meet the MVP? Right, so is the return on investment, is that stacking up? Now you've got two options over there. You can actually say, yep, okay, we're gonna stop that now. It's met the return on investment. It's fulfilled the minimum viable product, and we're going to stop that. So you could stop that, or you could continue creating the next feature, the next bit of functionality, and you would continue in that loop until you found that the ROI no longer stacked up. So very interesting, very important role. As I said, sits at the portfolio level. Remember one thing though, now the epic owner is a role, so it could be picked up by people doing other activities or other roles as well. So typically you could imagine a product manager could be an epic owner. One of the things that I would say is that because of the size and scale of the initiative, you would want to make sure that they have a real deep understanding of the market, the opportunity, the business opportunity there. So you may have multiple people that are working on different epics as well. Okay, so there we have it. That's the epic owner role. Hope you find that useful. Please do sign up with Safe in the Real World at www.sprintzero.com. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much. Bye.